record. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the OK Run Show, week number 7 recap. This week, we're going to begin with the distance. Distance was quite a good showing at the University of Oklahoma Meet John Jacobs Invitational. Let's start out with the 800. On the men's side, great race. For 750 meters of it, Trey Baker looked to be the class of the field. He went out there. He said, I'm the state leader. You guys are just going to have to follow me. He took it out, tried to go quick, but Josh Ramage held on, stayed behind him. Some might say like a sandbag. Some might say that.
That's not us, though.
Not us. We like it. Strategy, it's racing. He did what was best for him because at the end of the day, he came out on top 154.47 to Trey Baker's 154.60 in a dramatic finish the last 20 meters. Trey Baker hit the track at the very end, but did still cross the line. So he does get to go home with a 154.6 clocking. But fast forward a couple hours, we get to the 1600. Trey Baker goes, you know what? I'm going to follow you guys now. So he sits behind them for about, probably 900 meters of the race with 700 to go. He goes, all right, I'm going to take the lead. I'm going to kind of dictate how this race is going to finish. He gapped the field. The rest is history. He wins it 4:23.12. Ramage comes home third, 4:31, and I believe Eli Hopkins for second, a bit ahead of that. Over in Yukon, Brody Woodcock, 4:14.76. He's already the state leader, but again, he's got to show that he's the best miler. He took down Zach Rutherford again, head-to-head. Zach Rutherford, though, new PB, 4:18.39. Back over at John Jacobs Invitational, Gentry Turner, solos, 10:37.07, also comes back to win the 1600 in 5:04.94. Her goal was to try to break the state record of 10:30, but having to do a lot of work by yourself is no easy task. 10:37, though, still a personal best, still a state leader. Her 1600, though, she came out and she was in her trainers. She was not even wearing spikes. I noticed that as they came off of the first bend, and I was like, oh, she's wearing trainers. This is hilarious. But again, still classes the field, 5:04.94. Back over in Yukon, Morgan Kirkland, I believe that was Yukon, correct? Yes. 10:48.22 solo for a personal best, shaping up to be a great race in the 3200 at the state meet. Bella Nelson, welcome back to the 800, 215 for Oklahoma number 2, took down Savannah Hull, who is the Oklahoma number 3. Will be a great race between her and Gwyn Myers, who has run 2:13 out of Bishop Kelly. Shawn, distance, what sticks out to you?
800, I think, is the most competitive distance race we have this year on the boys' side. Maybe, but for all of distance, honestly, I think the 800 is going to be pretty crazy. I don't know who's going to win in 6A. I mean, in 5A, it's pretty sure, but I think 6A, 800, it's pretty crazy. I don't think he's sandbagged. I think it was a good idea. I think it's smart. I mean, I get it. You got to feel for Trey Baker because, we've been there before. You lead the whole race and then you feel like someone's kind of just sat on you and then they outkick you. But that's kind of part of what makes track. It's not all about, how fast you run. It's you got to have some kind of idea of I'm going to position myself here. Because especially in those kind of events where you're not, where it's long or longer than a sprint, so much of it is about where you put yourself on the track. Who do you decide to sit behind? Who do you decide to go in front of? Are you going to take when there's let's say you're on lap 2 of the 1600 and you're boxed in, are you going to swing wide or are you going to stay there? It's just a smart race, honestly. Yeah.
Moving over to the relays, Deer Creek 7:56.47 at Yukon, Edmond Memorial 7:53.59 to lower their season's best, and Lincoln Christian 7:57.56. The second two performances, Edmond Memorial and Lincoln Christian, were at John Jacobs, where Deer Creek ran that at Union. The girls of Edmond Memorial set a new state lead, 9:21:25 in the 4x8. The Union girls won. Oh no, that's the men. 1:25:42. That puts them at number 16 in the US and lowers their state lead. Big win over Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow, I believe that puts them around 25th in the nation. So two really great sprint relay races there. Shawn, relays, what stuck out to you?
Probably the 4x2. I think it just shows that they have a lot of very talented athletes there, and it'll be interesting to see when it comes to regionals and state who they throw in certain events. Like you've got Union has 400s. I mean, they've got 3 or 4 guys that probably 5, 6, honestly, that could get it done in the 400. And maybe not state, but like are fast 400 runners. You've got 5 or 6 guys in the 200, right? I mean, I remember there was
At one
I
point they were
forgot
1, 2,
what
3, 4
meet
in
it
the
was,
state.
but it was they were
Well, they
like
were also the top 4 times in the state at that point. Has since changed. Cooper Wakely and Trayvon Crabtree have joined the top 4 and broken up that quartet.
But yeah, I'd say that the 4x2, pretty awesome.
Moving over to some field event action. Montiel Crane 172 in the discus. The discs were flying this weekend. If you went out to Ramona, Alekna out of Lithuania or Latvia, I think he's from Latvia. Anyway, threw for University of Cal Berkeley. He's 21 years old and just broke the world record in the discus. That happened at Ramona. So in case any of you kids were wanting to one day get the soil record for the discus, good luck. That will be a fun time trying to chase that mark. And it was one of the oldest actually, it was the oldest world record on the books for world athletics. So shout out the wind in Oklahoma in the springtime. Moving to the pole vault, May Pashner takes down the state leader, Emily Cloutier, at the John Jacobs Invitational. They didn't necessarily reach the highest that those two women have jumped so far this year, but it was a great battle nonetheless. Nicholas Chu finally got to confirm that he is that guy. He jumped 24 feet 7 3/4 for 10th in the US, state lead by like 1.5 feet right now. Crazy big jump. He jumped real far at his home meet.
I have notes.
He jumped really far at his home meet like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, but I don't think that result ever even ended up on mile split. And then now here he is to just back that up and prove it was not a fluke.
The top time ever in our state is 25:04.75.
Okay.
It could happen.
Could.
That's a lot to make up, but it could happen.
It's still 10 inches. So 10 inches. I'd like to see it happen. Maybe.
I think it's possible.
I mean, it's always possible. There's
is he a senior?
I do not know that information. I'm gonna be honest.
If he's not, then I could definitely see it. Like next year.
Certainly.
You know?
Certainly. Reese Qualls jumps 15:01 to now be the solo state leader to break his tie with Cooper Wakely when they were dead set at 15 feet even. Cassidy Watkins continues to be the queen of long jump, 19 feet 10 3/4. I mean, she's jumped 20 feet 3 inches this year. She continues to I think she's not lost so far this year. And it's hard to lose when you jump that far every single week. I'm gonna butcher this name. Derek Hornegay, 6 feet 7 in the high jump. Shawn, where was that one at? Is that UConn or is that?
I believe that was UConn, but I'd have to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Awesome. Moving to the hurdles, Dean McCune, double champ. He's the state leader. He's been the state leader for most of this outdoor season. He lowers his state best of 14:13 in the 110s and lowers his 300 hurdles in 37:75. I mean, he's far and away. So far, he's undefeated in the hurdles. Nobody's been able to beat him. He's faced all of the top guys. All he has left to do, win the state title. That's it. That's all he can do at this point. And then he will have essentially a perfect hurdle season for an Oklahoma kid. I mean, that's 37-75, 14-1. Yeah, that's tough. It's going to be tough for anybody to take him down. Although there is still a lot of great hurdlers who, on their day may be able to get him. They get their steps right. They get everything, just hammered down, locked in. It could be a great race. It's still going to be a great race regardless. Hurdles, anything can happen. It's easy to trip when you got 10 barriers in front of you. So we'll see what happens. But right now, Dean McCune is your favorite, and he's kind of becoming a big favorite. Anara Ukuwuba got her get back on Kayvon Newbine. So kind of the story going into the season, they finished like within like 0.1 of a second of each other at the state meet last year. Both kind of ran quick indoors, very close. We didn't get to see Anara the first couple weeks of the season, but we did get to see Kayvon. Kayvon was kind of like showing that, all right, I'm pretty good. Hey, like maybe I'm the favorite now. Where's Anara? Well, Anara comes out at Texas Relays, runs a big time, gets the state lead over Kayvon. Fast forward to Coac, Kayvon takes down Anara, goes sub 14 seconds, 13.99. Anara was like 14.1. So fast time, plus she gets the W over Ukuwuba. Now we go to John Jacobs, and Anara gets the W over Kayvon Newbine. No change of hands in the state lead. State lead still remains in Kayvon Newbine's hand at 13.99, but Anara did get the win over your state leader. Shawn, anything that stuck out to you over hurdles and field events? Anything big?
I mean, field wise, the long jump, but we already talked about that a lot. I mean, that's the closest we've had. I mean, that's pretty dang fast. I mean, that's pretty dang far.
Fast, yeah.
Fast. But I'd say both the long jump are impressive, which is cool that we've got a few different athletes that are doing things in that event, So I'd say that.
Moving over to the sprints, Cooper Wakely wins a very competitive 200 with a lot of your top guys. Crabtree out of Elgin, a couple of the Union boys, 21-57 in that 200. Jordan Atkinson, double champ in the 100 and 200 at John Jacobs, 11-9. Takes down your state leader out of Cassidy, Helen Olaszewski. Also comes back in the 200. Again, beats a lot of your favorites, your Lily Rays, Helen. I mean, Santa Fe had a girl in there that's real good. Other Mustang girls. Jordan Atkinson right now, not state lead. That's like number 3 in the 200 and near the state lead for the 100, both at the John Jacobs Invitational, plus running some big relay legs for the Mustang Broncos. Rachel Cornell, last thing, Rachel Cornell in the 400 takes down your state leader, Deja Gaines, takes down a couple of the other top girls to win a pretty dramatic last 20 meters of girls tying it up, girls coming on late. Jenna Doolin came on late. I thought she almost took it, but instead, Rachel Cornell, 57-56 for the W in the 400 at John Jacobs. Shawn, sprints, anything that you want to comment on?
I'd say the 200. I mean, like I said, I think that event is going to be pretty interesting when it comes to, just you've got a lot of guys in there that I think can contend for the win. And anytime when you have a good amount of athletes that can contend for a win, it's set for a good race usually. So I'm excited about that.
Certainly. And I'm still pushing for Cooper Wakely to go be a multi when he gets to college, because he's a great sprinter. He already knows how to pole vault, which is every multi's weakness.
Yeah.
He's already great at that. I think if he can technically figure out how to hurdle, and he probably knows how to, honestly, wouldn't be surprised. And the throwing events, if he can just figure out the technicalities of those, the form, dude would be a killer multi. I'm in the camp of Cooper Wakely should be the multi king of Oklahoma. If we had a decathlon at the state meet, he'd be my bet. I don't think there's anybody in the state that can even come close to him right now. I think if there's anything else we should cover, Shawn, anything big looking forward to in the rest of the regular season here?
What's the date today? 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of time left.
No, certainly not.
I mean, we're We're about there.
Less than a month.
We'll be at
Mile
I think-
Night, Deer Creek Mile Night.
Deer Creek Mile Night on the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're not exactly sure what we're gonna do about postseason. We will be at state.
We'll be at 5A, 6A state because it's
I'll
the only
tell
thing
you that.
happening that weekend.
We will
We'll certainly be there.
100% both of us be at 5A, 6A state.
Yes.
Everything else I do not know yet.
Yes. There's
Honestly.
yeah.
I mean
That other weekend, so the small school state weekend, large school regional weekend, we're gonna figure out kind of logistically where we can get, because we do want to get the other portions of the state that we don't get to see. I have got to see very few A and 2A athletes, very few 3 and 4A athletes. So getting to see them at their state meet would be good, because we've beat the 6A competition like a dead horse. Like everything every week, it's your 6A leaders. It'd be cool to go out and see some of those 3s and 4s. Times may not be as quick, but hey, racing's racing. I'm
Yep.
sure there'll still be great races. That's kind of the big thing with like that 800. It's a great race, even if they don't run fast. It's going to be a great race in a lot of these events, because many of them, there isn't a clear favorite, but there's 4 or 5 great athletes that I think definitely stand a shot. 200, 800, glaring examples of that. Anyway, that's it for us this week. And thank you guys for listening.